Ready? We give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yah by Hashem Yahushua. John chapter 5, verse 39. Isaiah 45, verse 2.
John chapter 5, verse 39.
What does it say?
Search the scriptures, for in them ye think ye have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me.
What else?
And ye will not come to me that you might have life.
They won't come to him that he might have life.
I receive not honor from men.
He received not honor from men.
But I know you that ye have not the love of Elohim in you.
Say, I know you. It ain't in you. Let's see what Isaiah 45 and 2 say. See, I had that on deck when we were talking about that stuff about there's nobody beside me, but we'll deal with that because that's very comprehensive, because that's going to be encompassing probably from Isaiah chapter 41 all the way to the 48th chapter. And if you who will be merciful, we'll get to it in due time. Isaiah 45 and 2. We ain't forgot about that stuff with these women. I'm going to be very brief.
Yeshayahu 45 verse 2, Isaiah 45 and 2.
Yeah.
I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break
He'll
in
do
pieces,
what?
Make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron.
Stop right there. What y'all think he talking about when he said, I'm going to make the crooked places straight? Anybody got any idea what he could be referring to? He said, I'm going to make the crooked places straight.
Like the courthouses and the churches?
He said,
Get Matthew chapter 3. What did John the Baptist tell them who he was?
The way the one crying out in the wilderness.
who paid the way, who made it.
And that's what was testified to him in the 40th chapter of the same book of Isaiah, that he came to set the crooked places straight. So he was a forerunner. And what does the Mashiach come to do? Somebody get 1 John 3 and 4, to set the crooked places straight. Then what do you think he referred to when he say he going to break the bars of iron and the gates of brass?
Set the captives free.
He going to set you free. Who had bars of iron broke up off of them?
Samson?
Samson did. They put his hands in what? Fetters of iron, right? Did they not put fetters of iron on the master too? So we'll look and see how this is what he telling you he's going to defeat death. Because then we'll see that when he talk about them secret places. Come on with that Matthew chapter 3. Pick me up verse 5.
Matthew chapter 3, verse 5. Then went out of Jerusalem and all of Yehuda and all that the region round about the Jordan, and they were baptized of him in the Jordan, confessing their sins. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come,
What did he say to them?
he said unto them, O generations of vipers,
Oh, generation of what?
vipers, who have warned you to flee from the wrath to come. Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance. And think not to say within yourself, we have Abraham to our father. I say unto you that Elohim is able of these stones to raise up children
Stop
unto
right. I
Abraham.
actually wanted John chapter 1. Corey, give me John chapter 1 by verse 20. Now, you know why we read this here? Because we talked about Matthew chapter 19 last night, right? Who remembers the premise of what we were talking about when we looked at Matthew chapter 19 based off this last verse, what he just read? To not say that you have Abraham to your father. Because we just talked about Matthew 19 last night. What did we talk about when we talked about that last night?
Other nations.
With that rich ruler, right? We talked about that last night. Now you notice that he asked the rich ruler to do what? What did he ask Abraham to do?
Depart from his father.
To do the same thing. So he sit back looking at it, he said, don't say that you have Abraham to your father. See, because we're going to deal with that when we go to talking about that virtuous woman in a minute. Because like I said, I'm not going to be too long with this right here. It's just something in Isaiah 45 and 2 Chronicles 15. I'm going to hit that number, go. I might touch the stuff in the numbers thing, dealing with one of the women that we're going to be talking about. But if Abraham, see, that's one of the biggest things. See, we talked about this last night too. We talked about, he said, if you got confidence in your flesh, even me the more, because I'm circumcised the what day? The 8th day. From the stock of who? Yasharal. From the tribe of what? He said he was from Ben Yamin. Let me talk about Abarim of the Abarim, if you want to esteem is that. You know what I'm talking about? See, but that's what our problem is. See, we don't esteem. I'm from the stock of Abraham. I'm from the stock of Abraham. But you's a nigga though. You know what I'm talking about? When I say that, meaning your behavior, your outlook, your thinking, you ignorant. You know what I'm talking about? You like to participate. There's an actual word now, niggardly, and that is real debased behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's why he called them generations of vipers and snakes. Who even told you to come around here? Because all them people were coming to get immersed to confess their sins. And he looking at them like, who told y'all to come around here? Because I know y'all ain't finna confess or change. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious though. And it's a lot of people go like this here, right? Most of them be on the street corner. Them dudes pop up. They see them dudes on the street corner. They think they about something. But these men are just as wicked as you are. Because the master told you that. You travel sea and land to make one proselyte. And when he's converted, you make him 2/4 more the child of hell than you are. You know what I'm talking about? That's dead serious now. Because if you wicked and you the one feeding the people, that 9 times out of 10, they going to be wicked. But on the reverse side, a man can be righteous and feed the people the word. That don't necessarily mean that they will be. Because we talked about that in Ezekiel 33 last night. He said they hear your words, but they will not do them. Because their heart go after the covenants. You know what I'm talking about? And so I'm going to touch on one of those things when he was talking about, when he's talking about this man having covenants. See, in Luke chapter 12, the man came up to the master. They say, man, tell him to divide up the inheritance with me. The master looked at him and said, man, who made me a divider over y'all? He said, why y'all even, I don't care nothing about this, man. Don't bring this junk to me, man. But then he told him, he sat back and he told him, son, he said, a man's life doesn't consist of the abundance of things which he possesses. He told you to beware of covenants. You know, Paul told you in the epistle letter, the 5th chapter of the epistle to the Ephesians, that covenants is akin to idolatry. You know what I'm talking about? See, that means that whatever it is, see, he told you that in Ezekiel 14, you set up idols in your heart. And now they become your God, because that's who you serve. See, a lot of people say, I serve Yahuwah. You's a liar. You serve whatever it is you got set up in your heart, whatever your desire go after. That is your God, because that's what you lend your power over to. That's what you serve. And that's when we're going to get at when we talk about this virtuous woman. Because I've told y'all this before. Them head wraps mean absolutely nothing. You know what I'm talking about? You taking off that jewelry means absolutely nothing. Them skirts mean absolutely nothing if your inward parts are full of decay and look like a rest stop bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all have seen some public bathrooms and you looking at it and you are disgusted. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he feel like when he look at some of y'all inward parts. He is disgusted. You know what I'm saying? Outwardly though, you look magnificent. You know what I'm saying? Be like Shallow Hal, you look beautiful on the outside, but he done got that thing, he see how you really look. Because remember, he said, I look upon the hearts of all men. I know all your thoughts. So you know what I'm saying? You have to sit back and look at that, and we going to see that in a minute. But give me that 1 John 1 and 20. I mean, John 1 and 20. He got 1 John chapter 3, verse 4.
John 1 and 20.
Go ahead, sir.
And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Mashiach. And they asked him, what then? Art thou Elias?
He said, are you Elias?
And he said, I am not.
What he said other than?
Art thou a prophet?
He said, you a prophet? Now, hold on. See, I'm going to deal with this here because I had an ignorant bastard, and that's what he is, because he's an illegitimate child. You know what I'm talking about? The book saying Deuteronomy 23, a bastard shall not enter into the congregation of Yahuwah. If you despise the chastening of Yahuwah, you are not a son, but you are a bastard. You know what I'm talking about? So we call him a bald-headed bastard, a stupid bastard. You call him whatever you want to call him, because that's how he was conducting himself in the conversation, and that's what I'm going to call him. But this man told me in Deuteronomy 18 something. Now, why do y'all think that they asked him, was he a prophet?
Because Moses, the Lord told Moses he'll raise up
A prophet like unto Moses. Now, this man, like I said, right, I would not be called a Christian under any circumstance whatsoever. Nope. The word, when it was created, was a derogatory term. It's the kin of them calling you a nigger now. If somebody called you a Christian, it's like somebody calling you a nigger. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing to actually cleave on to. Your enemies did that. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of dudes look at, well, it's in the Bible. Well, it's written in a language that we didn't speak. If you get it in the original language, you will not find that word in there. Peter would not call himself a Christian. He would have called himself a Yahudim. How do we know this? Paul was not from the tribe of Judah. He was from Benjamin. But yet he called himself a Jew regularly. You know what I'm talking about? But the nations would call you a Christian because that's how they referred to you. You know what I'm saying? But he said, see, we could call ourselves Christians because he said he would raise a prophet like unto Moses, and that prophet is Mashiach, so we could be called Christians. That's real stupid. The point of that being, because you just seen, they asked him, are you the prophet? They were asking him, are you the one Moses was told about in Deuteronomy 18? He told them, no, that ain't me. They even asked that about the master. They say, are you that prophet? Because we know a prophet is supposed to come. And they knew that that prophet would embody the things that Moses embodied, which would be a redeemer, which would be an intercessor, you know what I'm talking about? Which would be a leader, which would be a teaching priest. You understand what I'm talking about? And the reason why they asked John this, because what tribe was John from? He was a Levite. And what tribe was Moses from?
Levi.
So it made common sense, them knowing the book, that they would ask him that. You know what I'm saying? See, this is what I be talking about. It's nothing wrong with being ignorant of the word if you're not teaching the word. But if you teaching the word and you say things and you don't know what you're talking about, that is despicable. Because somebody who don't know no better hear that and run with what you talking about, and then they'll been done blasphemed unknowingly. Go ahead, sir.
And he said, I am not, art thou that prophet? And he answered, No. Then said they unto him, Who art thou? That we may give an answer to them that sent us. What sayest thou of
What did you
thyself?
say of yourself?
He said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of Yahuwah.
Make what?
Make straight the way of Yahuwah, as said the prophet Isaiah.
So you know why that's important? Because he said, who in the book of Ecclesiastes, he said, who can make straight what Yah has made crooked? So you know what I done told y'all some of y'all want to save some people so bad, and if y'all done made them crooked, ain't nothing you can do about it. He told you that in the Romans the 9th chapter. He said, what if he made some vessels fitted for wrath that he might make his power known? Because he said he hardened Pharaoh's heart. It wasn't nothing Moses could say to Pharaoh that was going to change the fact that he was going to get destroyed. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't nothing that he could do to change that fact. But then you have some people, what type of God would do that? The type that can do what he want to do. You know what I'm talking about? And you'll holler at him at due time, and you can ask him yourself. Because I guarantee you, when you stand in front of him, you're going to be stark quiet. When you sit back and be like, boy, this thing was real. Oh, yeah, it's dead real. You know what I'm saying? It's dead real. But go ahead and give me that Judges chapter 14. What it is, about verse 17. And could you read me this 1 John chapter 3, verse 4 for me, please, sir? 1 John chapter 3, verse 4, the epistle of John, the first one, 3rd chapter, 4th verse. Because we got to deal with something about breaking those bars or something.
Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
Yeah.
And ye know that he was manifested to take
He was
away our
manifested to
sins.
do what?
Take away our sins.
And then what else?
And in him is no sin.
And what else?
Whosoever abideth in him sinneth not. Whosoever sinneth have not seen him,
So we
even
can
known
see
him.
right here that Hamashiach was sent to make the crooked places straight. Because he said in him was no sin because you were crooked. You know what I'm talking about? See, don't never let nobody tell you, because that same gentleman I was talking to, he talking about you're a sinner and a transgressor. And I told him, you speak for yourself. You know what I'm talking about? You a sinner and a transgressor. Everybody sin, everybody has sinned, everybody don't sin. Understand the difference of the word usage you using. Because had is past tense. Has is present tense. You know what I'm talking about? Everyone has sinned, but you don't have to continue doing so. Do not let anybody, it's like they say, I saw the video of somebody like this here, right? Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. No, you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? If you say, I want to do this and I want to do that, then yeah, you can do that. Don't listen to the outside noise of people telling you what you can't do, because they feel like they can't do it. And they're trying to project their fear of success onto you, so you won't do it. You know what I'm saying? So don't let nobody tell you, oh, you can't stop sinning. No, you can't stop sinning. You know what I'm talking about? You can't do it. And you're not going to try to project that on me to keep me in this. You know how many people ain't followed after some dream they had or something they wanted to do because somebody else didn't believe that they could do something, so they made you believe that you couldn't do what it is you were seeking to do. And that's what carnal-minded people do after people who seek to want to be like Elohim. There is no iniquity in the Most High Yah. So therefore there wouldn't be any iniquity in his children. People who are children of Satan will tell you, you can't stop sinning. No, nigga, you can't stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you that. Don't let nobody convince you of that. Don't let nobody persuade you of that, because that's somebody who don't want to be great, and they're trying to stop you from achieving that. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't going to tell you what you can't do. I can tell you, you look like you don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a difference in that. So it look like you don't want to do that right now. Well, how you going to say what I don't want to do? Shoot, you're actually speaking pretty loud to me right there, so it look like that's not what you're trying to do. But I won't tell you what you can't do. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want to do. All anybody can do is put the information before your face, and it's on you what you choose to do with it. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was to put $10,000 in front of your face, and you said you want to start a business, it's on you what you do with that 10 racks. Some people take that 10 racks and they going to hit the mall. Some of them going to see the dope man. I'm for real. They going to get their weed, their pill, whatever it is. Some of them going to go to the store buy some alcohol. Some of them going to go throw a party. Somebody going to buy a car. You know what I'm talking about? Some people going to take that money and put it into what they said they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell you what you could do with the $10,000. You do whatever you want to with it. I can't tell you what to do with the word. You can do whatever you want to with it. But don't be upset if you don't get your desired result. If you didn't do what you ought to did with it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest things. I used to see that in the street, man. You could give somebody something, and a week later they be broke and mad at you because they broke. You know what I'm saying? But if you show a man like this here, right, I might shoot you a little something, then I'm going to show you how to get it. He might go out there and get it. That's all the master would come to do, and that's all his preachers coming to do. They just showing you how to get it. I can't get it for you, though. I can show you how to get some money, but I can't make you get out there and make it, though. All I can do is show you. That's all the master was coming to do, to make them crooked places straight. I'm coming to show you the way. They told that same thing when Paul cast that unclean spirit out of that woman. And that before he did it, that woman said, this is one of the servants of Elohim who come to show us the way of salvation. We just trying to show you how to get there. I can't make you walk, though. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit back. I don't know. Every one of y'all in here could believe. Every one of y'all in here not could believe. I don't know. The only thing that's going to show that out is how you live your life. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to prove it, because you can make your mouth fry fish. Come on over here about that Judges 14 about verse 17.
That's a t-shirt.
It definitely is.
Oh, I mean, they are. I ain't got to be on camera. I'm on enough of them videos as it is.
Judges 14, 17?
Yeah.
Judges chapter 14, verse 17. And she wept before him the 7 days while the feast lasted. And it came to pass on the
Make
seventh...
it 15, my apologies.
Okay,
15 to 17.
And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, entice thy husband that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire.
That ain't what I want to do. Yeah, we was a little too high. Make that 12.
Judges 14, verse 12.
15 and 12.
Oh, 15 and 12. And they said unto him, we are come down to bind thee, that we may deliver thee into the hand of the Philistines.
Mm-hmm. That's what they did to the master, right? Yeah. We didn't know that. We didn't went over this before, so we ain't going into it in depth. Come on with it, man.
And Samson said unto them, swear unto me that you would not fall upon me yourselves.
Remember this here. That goes back when the master say the Gentiles gonna kill me. Not my own people. The Gentiles the one gonna actually do it. Y'all just brought me to them like they doing. Go ahead.
And they spake unto him, saying, no, but we will bind thee fast and deliver thee into
We ain't
their
gonna go
hand.
read it. You can go read Matthew 27 yourself. They put that man's hands in fetters of iron just like they did doing Samson. They did the same thing to him now. They locked him up.
But surely we will not kill thee. Mm-hmm. And they bound him with 2
Same thing the people say. They say, we got a law, we can't kill him. That's what they said in John. They say, we can't kill him. Come on.
And brought him up from the rock. And when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him. And the Ruach of Elohim, of Yahuwah, came mightily upon him. Mm-hmm. And the cords that were upon his arms became as flax.
You remember how they said, how he said, I'll break the bars of iron on you? Now get me Acts chapter 2, man. Verse 35. So when he sit back and he telling you about how he gonna break the gates of brass and cut them. Because what is a gate, right? A gate is an entryway. So you look at breaking the gates of brass, I'm gonna destroy death. Remember what he told you in 1 John chapter 3, verse 8. He that commits sin is of the devil. For this cause the Son of Elohim was manifested to destroy the works of the devil. You know what I'm saying? So I have to destroy the grave and I have to destroy death. You know what I'm talking about? Because he got to make the order for him to do that, he actually got to live right. And when I say live right, that means rightly follow everything that was written of him. See, when I was talking to them dudes on Wednesday, and I'm sitting there telling these dudes everything in the New Testament, specifically the Gospels. Everything that man said and did is written. And we are supposed to know it, understand it, and believe it. So if this man turned around and said, why you said that, you're supposed to know why he said it. If this man turned around and did this here, you're supposed to know why he did it. Because now you know who you believe on. Not just say, I believe on Jesus. Why? You know what I'm talking about? Most people say, Most High in Christ, I believe in Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, Yahusha. Why? Because somebody told you to? Or because Yahuwah told you to? Because you believe what he said. I explained it to your cousin. I talked to your cousin this morning. I explained it to him like this here. And I done told y'all this before, and I'm going to just say that for those who ain't never heard it before. It's no different if I didn't say what Darius' name was. But I described Darius' character and his attributes and what he would do. That when you saw him, you would know, oh, that's the dude bro was telling me about. That's what he did with his son. See, everybody look at, where's his name at? Why you don't say his name? I mean, that would be simple now, wouldn't it? And then I say Yahusha is a very common name. You know what I'm talking about? That's not a, Matt like to say, they wanted, why don't say his name? What you mean? He told you what to look for. You looking for a name, why don't you look for the character and the attributes and the behavior? Then you would have known. Because anybody could have came up and said, I'm Yahusha, I'm Yahusha. Oh, well, which one do I choose? You know what I'm talking about? But when you would have seen the behavior and the working of the behavior, then you would have known that's the one he told me about. You see what I'm talking about? That's how you would have known. And that way, the reason why I mention this here, because when the beast pop up and go to try to mimic and do this here, he ain't going to get you. Because you're going to know he's a fraud. He's phony. He's fake. Come on. Acts 2 and 35.
Acts chapter 2, verse 35. Until I make thy foes thy footstool. Therefore let all the house of Yasharal know assuredly.
Back it up to 34. Just read that part where it said it wasn't possible that death could hold it, because we got to roll. Might be 33. Actually, matter of fact, my bad. That thing way back at 24.
I had that one up 10 chapters. Verses. I was like, dang.
Acts 2 and 24.
All right. Whom Elohim have raised up, having loosened the pains of death, because it was not possible that it should be holden of it. For those speaking concerning him.
You see how he say he loosed the pains of death? So he had to break that bond up off you. And that's what set you free. Like he mentioned before, it set the captives free. Because you talking about gates of brass and bars of iron, that's somebody that's in jail. In John chapter 8, he told you, he that commits sin is the servant of sin. He say, and the Son shall make you free. And he said, if the Son shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. See, a lot of people read that. See, the truth will set you free. Free from what? What is he talking about? He talking about setting you free from sin, which therefore will set you free from death, which will allow you to dwell with your Elohim. So you can't dwell with your Elohim and commit sin, because therefore death is in you. See, we talked about that last night. The wages of sin is death. You commit sin, you will die. So I have to free you from that. So he had to become death to free you from that. 2 Chronicles 15 and 1, so I can get to this thing for these women. What? I'm gonna say? You stupid. Hey, no, I meant to tell y'all verse 3. I can't precept it all the way out like I want to, so I'm gonna just tell you where it's at. When he say, I will give thee the treasures of darkness, what is darkness? Death. So what are the treasures of the grave? This man say, I give you the treasures of the grave. What is the treasure of the grave? That'd be the Ruach. That's what rose him up from the grave, right? That's that treasure. So then he look at it and he say, in the hidden riches of secret places. When we sit back and look at the hidden riches of secret places, you just sit back and look at it, right? The master's put in the grave. Grave is, see, you don't go in that place. But then when you look at the secret place, he mentioned it earlier. See, in 1 Peter chapter 1, about verse 10 or 11, the man tell you that this stuff was hidden in the Mashiach, and that those who prophesied of the favor to come search diligently of what came to you openly. You know what I'm talking about? See, then the master also sat back and told you, he said, Baruch are your ears, or blessed are your ears, for they hear, and your eyes, for they see. He said, there's been many righteous men and prophets seek to see and hear the things that you see and hear, and have not seen them. See, because that hidden treasure, that riches of that secret place, are the things that emanate from the Ruach HaKodesh, which would be joy, peace, faith, long-suffering, gentleness, meekness, kindness, wisdom, understanding, which can only emanate from Elohim. You can't get that from no man. You know what I'm telling you? Man can't give you that. He can impart that knowledge unto you and give you the tools to be able to receive it. But if the heart of faith is not in you, then Elohim cannot give you that. Because he said he gives wisdom to all men liberally, freely. You know what I'm talking about? He give it freely. But the reason why it's not given is because people don't believe and they don't obey. So when he say that you may know that I am Yahuwah, which called thee by thy name. See, we talked about that. Oh, I went over that with y'all the other day. When he say I called them and they all stood up. You don't think he called Yahushua by name when he told him to get up out that grave? You know what I'm talking about? So he said when he got up out that grave, you would know that he is the Elohim of Yasharal when he got up. You know what I'm talking about? And see, that's what we're supposed to be able to understand and know, that this man get up out the grave. Yahuwah is Elohim. And Yahushua is his son. You know what I'm talking about? Because he did exactly, because when the man came up out that secret place and out of that darkness, he gave him treasures. He ascended on high and took captivity captive and gave gifts to men. He gave some apostles, he gave some prophets, he saved some evangelists, some pastors, some teachers for the edifying of the body. Because he sat down and ministered to the men and showed them that the whole book was about him. So he gave them riches from a secret place and treasures out of darkness when he got up out that grave, that you might know that Yahuwah is Elohim. Now see, men will sit back and go, that ain't talking about him. It may not be. I don't know. Take it up with the man when you see him. Now, look, I'm not going to argue with a nigga talking about that ain't talking about him. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Then they get mad. Well, don't tell me who it's talking about. Well, shoot, you got to tell me it's talking about somebody, nigga. He talking about somebody. You know what I'm saying? And we all know who their favorite person to say who it's talking about. Say, hey, he ain't promised that man all that. He did. You know what I'm talking about? What he promised?
He got his peace, but
He got his peace. He ain't get that. I don't know where he get that from. Then he said, I've called thee by name. I surnamed thee, that though thou hast not known me. But see, I'm going to show y'all something else. Read this 2 Chronicles 15:1. Let's show y'all something clicked in my head.
15:1. And the Ruach of Elohim came upon Azariah, the son of Oded. And he went out to meet Asa and said unto him,
Yep.
Hear ye me, Asa, and
Yep.
all Yehuda and Benjamin.
Oh, and where was the master killed at? Where was he killed at?
Yehuda.
Go ahead.
Yahuwah is with you, while ye be with him. And if you seek him, he will be found of you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you.
What y'all think that could be talking about? As pertaining to your Savior. As pertaining to a Mashiach. He said, Yahuwah will be with you while you with him. But if you forsake him, he'll forsake you. What y'all think that's talking about?
He that denies not over here.
That's what I thought.
Made me think of when he's on the stake and he asked him why he was mistaken.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you why. John chapter 11 by verse 20. I'm going to show you when Yahuwah was with him. He said, while you be with me, I'm going to be with you. So why would the Father forsake him then?
For the sins of Yasharah.
Yeah, because he turned from him. He became sin, so therefore the master turned from him. I got to turn my back on you. I turn my back on you.
His mercy is really all.
John chapter 11 verse 20, man.
John chapter 11, verse 2.
20. Let me make sure that's what I want. Matter of fact, it's not 20. Go straight to 39. John 11 and 39. Now I'm going to show you what it showed where while he was with the Father was with him. So let's look at that and see how. Go ahead. John 11, 39.
Yahushua said, Take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, said unto him, Master, by this time he stinks, for he hath been dead 4 days.
He been dead 4 days.
Yahushua said unto her, Said I not unto thee that if thou wouldest believe that thou shouldest see the esteem of Elohim? Then they took away the stone from the place where he was dead, where the dead was laid. And Yahushua lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me.
He said, I thank thee that thou hast what?
Heard me.
What else?
I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by, I said that it... I'm sorry. Page. It said, because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me.
Don't you think if he able to resurrect a man from the dead, the Father would be with him? So he said while he was with him, Yahuwah was with him. But we know from 2 Corinthians chapter 5, it said he became sin for us, right? And as he just mentioned, he said, my Elohim, why have you forsaken me? Because you have forsaken me. Because he became this. See, that's what I was explaining to the brother earlier this morning. Everybody, we talked about it last night. Oh, he died for the sins of, nobody can't die for your sins. We talked about it last night. He died for the sins of Adam, you idiot. And when I say idiot, I'm talking about a man who professed to be a scholar, a scribe, a teacher of the word. How do you not know that? What you think he came to die because Darius liked to smoke weed when he was a teenager? You know what I'm talking about? Because he didn't. That's not the main number one purpose that he came to die for. He had to remove the curse of Adam first. I got to get rid of that. You know what I'm talking about? So that means I have to become that. Which means the Father said, well, I can't even look at you. He told you that in Habakkuk, right? His eyes are too pure to look upon evil. Man, I can't look at this boy right now, man. I don't know that dude. But see, I'm going to show you how he turned around and he delivered him up out of that. Keep reading, though. Praise the Lord.
It says, and when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice.
I'm talking about 2 Chronicles 15. Because we already mentioned that. My Elohim, why have you forsaken me? He became sin. The just died for the unjust. The Father going to keep his word. He got to forsake him. You know what I'm saying? But it's just amazing how you can sit back and this man's testimony be right there back there hidden. And it gives you an example of if the son became sin and the Father forsook him, what you think he going to do to you if you commit sin? You think he going to look on you? If he turned his back on his own son? Because he became, not that he committed sin for a smart person, but that he became sin. This man turned his back on him. Say, I got to forsake you, son. You done forsook me. That's why you think the son asked him, why are you forsaking me? You know why. Don't ask me that question. You know why. That's what people talk about. Why are y'all not with me? Oh, you know why. You know what you did last week. You know what I'm talking about? You know what you did last summer and last winter. Come on.
2 Chronicles 15, verse 3. Now for a long season, Yasharah had been without the true Elohim and without a teaching
Now, why do
priest.
you think they mean when it being a long season they've been without a teaching priest? What you think that could mean? If you consider what we just talked about in Isaiah 45. Because Malachi chapter 2 say the priest's lips should keep knowledge and they should seek the law at his mouth. Yahushua was a priest. And guess what? When he got up out of the grave, did they not have a teaching priest? Because for a long time, they had nobody to teach them no book. They definitely didn't have a true Elohim because he was not with them. You know what I'm saying? We were under occupation from some real live sodomites, some real live idolaters. Come on.
And without law.
And without law. They ain't had no direction, no instruction. So they did have the law. Oh, they had it all right. But they ain't had that law of faith, though. Come on.
But when they in their trouble did turn unto Yahuwah Elohim and Yashral and sought him, he was found of
Now,
them.
what do y'all, how can we take this to the master if he said in the time of their trouble, when they sought after him, he heard them?
When he
I
actually
think about the people that was on the stage.
Get Hebrew chapter 5, verse 6. Before you read Hebrew chapter 5, verse 6. Hebrews chapter 11, though, about verse 2. You know how he going to sit back and wasn't the master in trouble when he was up there getting killed? But he said in the time of their trouble, when they turned to him, he heard it. But he'd be like, well, how can he turn his back on him at the same time? We'll sit back and show you how he heard him in the time of his trouble. Y'all should already know who he heard in the time of his trouble. He said, who blood cry out to me? So he heard Abel in the time of his trouble, didn't he? Well, he heard the son and turned his back on him at the same time. And we'll show you how. Y'all should already, most of y'all in this room should already know that.
Remember when his blood hit the ground when he put the spear in?
Yeah, 11:2, Hebrews.
Hebrews 11:2. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Elohim, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto Elohim a more excellent sacrifice.
Oh, was not the master a more excellent sacrifice that he offered by faith because he knew he would not suffer his Kadesh one to see corruption? That he believed that this man would give him everything that he promised unto him? Because you got to remember, the Father know why he's sending him, but for the intent of fulfilling his word, I must turn my back on you. You are sin. I cannot receive that. But at the same token, I also know that a body thou hast prepared for me. You know what I'm talking about? So this is a more excellent sacrifice. Don't even do it. Don't even think about it. Go ahead.
So decent.
By which he obtained witness that he was righteous. Elohim testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaking.
By being dead, he yet speaks. Now you can read Hebrews 5 and 7. And you know, it's amazing, right? Because I was telling the brother this moment. In Ecclesiastes 7:20, they said there's not a just man upon the earth that sin not. So don't you know that would have to cancel out the master? Because in the same place, and the reason why I was telling, because in the same place in Proverbs 24:16, it said a just man falls 7 times. But if there's not a just man that's upon the earth that sin not, then how can there be a just man over here in Proverbs then? You know what I'm talking about? It was no just man upon the earth that sin not till the master came. You know what I'm talking about? Because he had to be the one to handle that, or unless he would be your redeemer who did that before. That's why they be screaming out, David. David canceled out. He don't fit Ecclesiastes 7:20. He can't call him a no just man because he sinned. He slept with another man's wife and killed him. You know what I'm talking about? And killed him. I'm talking about he coveted, he committed adultery, and murder, and deceit, and wicked inventions. All this here is tied up in this one action. You know what I'm talking about? Now, of course, we know he was a man after Elohim's own heart, but he sinned though. So he couldn't be that just man. Because David didn't fall 7 times. He said David only fell in that one matter. Because we know they love to scream that the just man falls 7 times. You ain't no just man, you sinned 7 times. You's a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, you are a wicked, deplorable, dastardly individual. You know what I'm talking about? Because you can't tell me you just and sin continually. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you like this here, right? Don't y'all know every last one of y'all that y'all, when you hit that water, you were saying you're going to put off the body of sin? Do you know how dangerous a ground you could tread if you've been immersed and went and sinned after that? Do you know what I'm talking about? You know how dangerous that is? You just told this man 2 middle fingers to you. And you just said, I ain't dead, I was playing. Because you supposed to know when you hit that water, it's death time. I don't live like that no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that no more. That's dangerous treading, because then that's when that Hebrew 10 come in that you don't know if there's a sacrifice for sin for you after that. You know what I'm talking about? You don't know that. You done played with your life. You done played Russian roulette with an AK-47. And you had a banana clip. You can't play with your life like that. Always remember this here. Repentance is owed to no one. He owes that to no one. He does not have to forgive you. He is not obligated to forgive you. He gives repentance that men might fear him. You know what I'm talking about? That's what it said in the book of Psalms. He say, if he was to count sins, who would stand? He say, forgiveness is with him that men might fear him. So knowing that you done took that step, then you would sit back and say, I reverence and honor and respect this man that I wouldn't dare. You know what this here? And I'm going to deal with something like this here, because this hit my head the other day. You know, there's a saying in the army, and it's a saying in the street. You know what it is? Death before dishonor. You would rather die than dishonor this man's name. You know what I'm talking about? But you know how most people live? They don't care nothing about dishonoring this man's name. So therefore he say dishonor brings forth death. You want to dishonor me? I will kill you. But you're supposed to have the mind frame of, and this is dealing with, like, especially talking about the beast. You would rather die. See, Hananiah and Mishael and Azariah, see, they felt like death before dishonor. Man. I hit that furnace before I do that, bro. Daniel felt the same way. Jeremiah felt the same way. Elijah felt the same way. You know what I'm talking about? The master felt the same way. Paul felt the same way. Peter felt the same way. Oh, it's death before dishonor, bro. That's how we live. You know what I'm talking about? See, can't nobody put that in your heart. But if you sit back and you feel like you could commit a sin here and you could commit a sin there, you don't feel like that. I done told y'all before, if you won't die to sin right now, or you're not going to die for this word when they put that yama in your face. Oh, you going to tell. Oh, you going to tell. You know what I'm saying? Because you're supposed to already been dead before they put that yama in your face. Before they go to talk about, I'm going to kill you. Shit, what's wrong with your killer? You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to pull it. Pull it then. What's wrong with your pulling? You know what I'm saying? That's how you felt. When they came and got the master, he looked at him like, well, shoot. For this cause was I born, and for this cause I came into the world. Handle your business. So you couldn't have no power over me at all unless it was given you from on high. Do what you do. Read that verse again for me so I can transition up out of this topic.
By faith Abel offered unto us.
Okay, that's good. Hebrew 5 and 7. And then after that, I'm going to tell y'all what that picture about. Read it, Hebrew 5 and 7. We're going to transition. You know how we're going to transition? See, it's a smooth transition because the first woman that I got to talk about is encompassing what this is talking about. You like that, don't you? My nigga. Why we all got on royal blue? That's kind of smooth. Hebrew 5 and 7.
So also Mashiach esteemed not himself to be made as a high priest, but he said unto him, Thou art my son. Today have I begotten thee. Mm-hmm. As he said also in another place, Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I got you down. Go ahead.
Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplication with a strong cry and tears unto him that was able to save.
When he was up there on that stage? You don't think it was some strong cries that he did before he got on that stage? And what happened? He was what?
He heard him and was able to save him from death.
Say he heard him because he feared. So at the same token, in the time of his trouble, when he sought him, Yahuwah was found of him. So you have to sit back and you remember that in the times of your trouble and your affliction and your persecution, if you turn to Yahuwah, he will be found of you. Because he did it to it for his son. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why we're looking at it is for this aspect, that the son told you the master is not greater than his servant. So whatever the father did to the son, he will do it for you if you in him and you believe. Read the next verse after that, and then we can proceed.
Though he were a son, yet learn him obedience by things which he suffered.
You know, see, the key thing is, you're supposed to be learning obedience from the things that you suffer. But a lot of y'all like to buck the suffering. See, I ain't going into that great detail last week about buy the truth and sell it not, because remember, sell in Hebrew in that instance means to give yourself over to death. You know what I'm saying? So he said you're not supposed to sell the skill in war or the wisdom or the kokma. You're not supposed to sell the benign or the understanding. And you're not supposed to sell the instruction, which is chastisement and rebuke. And he just said the son learned obedience by the things that he suffered. And most high willing, we're going to get to that to show you what his instruction is. Because Psalms 94 and 12 tells you, blessed is he whom you chasten out of your law. See, he chastened the son out of the word. And that's a blessed thing when this man chastens you or instructs you from out of his word. See, a lot of y'all buck that. See, a lot of y'all, he done tried to do it and you bucked it. And he feel like, well, that's a bastard all day to me. All day. But the picture that we're going to transition about that. Proverbs 31 and 10. The picture that I had, the picture said something, right? And you can get Esther. The book of Esther. It said that she has faith like Esther, a hustle like Lydia, and a dope mission like Miriam. You understand what I'm telling you? That's what it was talking about. But it was given the attributes of these three women. Then as a man, if you say, I want to marry a particular woman, does she have to possess all of those? But I would hope that you would want a woman that was like Esther. I would hope that every woman in here would want to model the behavior of Esther. You know what I'm talking about? Because see, the dope mission, we can't do nothing about that. I ain't got nothing to do with y'all sending you on no mission, and you ain't got nothing to do with y'all sending you on no mission. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? You being a hustler, that really just deals with your level of expertise. Because everybody's not a business person. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna tell you to go hustle and you can't think your way out of a paper bag. You just stay doing what you do. They're serious though. That goes for male and female. And boy, if you know you don't have the, if you know you're not self-disciplined, if you know that you don't take the time out to research things, if you know you don't like to really read anything, if you know you don't like to get up and if you know you like to be told what to do instead of telling yourself what to do, if you know you can't direct or lead nobody, if you know you can't balance no number, if you know you're not a people person, man, don't run no own business, man. Just go ahead and get you a job, get you a trade, and handle that. You know what I'm saying? Because to run your own business takes a lot of responsibility. You got to be quick on your toes. You have to have some manner of intelligence. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody can't do that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not feeling like this. That's just being honest. Everybody can't do that. And it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like challenges, I wouldn't advise you to do it. You know what I'm saying? But find you something else, man. Ain't nothing wrong. Go ahead and clock in, get your 401k, man. Get your retirement plan. Come on.
Proverbs 31 and 10
What it say?
says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above.
Now, y'all know what the word virtuous in Hebrew is, Kael. Y'all know what it means? Or Kael, you know what it means? No, it doesn't.
Warlike.
It means strength and might or power. So you know what the saying is, right? People like the cliche people like to say in the world. They say behind every strong man is what? You know what I'm saying? Now you sit back and look at it, right? Many of men have failed because they had a weak woman behind them. You know what I'm talking about? That's why Samson failed, because that woman behind him was weak. Shoot, that's why the master died, because that woman behind him was weak. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all supposed to know that from in Proverbs chapter 6. He said, by means of an adulterous woman, a whorish woman, a man brought to a piece of bread. And boy, the master had one piece of bread, passing that around to his apostle because of a whorish woman. You better read about Ezekiel 16 and that whorish woman. Sat back and said, you open your feet to everybody that passed by. And you contrary to other whores, because they give gifts to all whores, and you give your gifts to your lovers and get nothing in return. Some of y'all know women like that. Give they stuff to every man they deal with, they don't get nothing in return. But a wet behind and a dry pocket, and that's it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm for real though. That's all they got left. Just sitting there, I thought he loved me. That's why you ain't paid to think. Because if you were paid to think, you would have known better than that. You know what I'm saying? But guess what though? If Yasharal were paid to think, we would have known better than to serve all these idol gods, because that man sure told you don't do it, and what you did. But they love me though. They give me corn and oil and flax. They take care of me. He doesn't take care of me. He loves me. Next thing you know, they done use you and abuse you. I'm going to go back to my first husband when it was better for me. He's like, no, you stay your stank behind outside the door. You know what I'm talking about? That's what he did, though. He said, y'all got to wait a little minute. I got to send somebody down for that. But a virtuous woman emanates strength. You know what I'm telling you? Now we have to sit back and look at that, how this could be. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. We're going to get the book of Esther in a minute. Let me swing my way around now. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Let's look at something. Because we got to look at somebody first. Give me Isaiah 51 and 2 with that. Like I said, because we hit and we touch some of this stuff about upright women from time to time, but we ain't never really went all the way live with it. You know what I'm saying? So this time we'll go all the way live with it. Come on, man. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection towards your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Conversation means conduct or behavior. So if a woman, if you want to win a man to the word, that means keep your mouth shut and live it. That's it. I'm gonna tell y'all something real. Regardless of what you think, ain't no real man trying to hear no word come out no woman's mouth. He will shut his ears down. He don't want to hear nothing you talking about because that is a masculine, authoritative job, and he don't want to hear that from you. If a man will sit down and say, yeah, baby, teach me that word, you have a simp, and you better run. You know what I'm talking about? Because he's weak. You know what I'm talking about? Because a man is supposed to stand in front. How you leading him? If you teaching him, you leading him. How would you even want to follow that if you like, I'm leading this nigga? He's not your child. You know what I'm talking about? So how could you even trust this man to protect you if you the one got to lead him? I got to tell you what to do, baby, to please God. Come on and follow me. Go ahead, make sure you get his snot rag and you wipe his nose, you know. Make sure you put some powder on his diaper when you change him and all of that.
Wet wipes.
You know what I'm talking about? All of that. I might be sounding funny, but I'm serious though. As a woman, men are more visual. You know what I'm talking about? So like when men see a woman, he's more, it's like a woman will sit back and look at, they're visual, but they also want to know what's inside that man, what type of man is he is, that's going to cause them to be attracted to him. Men are visual creatures. So when they see a woman, they're attracted to what she looks like, and then they'll try to figure out, well, she's stupid, but screw it, she look good. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of dudes get caught with it. Some of y'all know dudes be like, man, you don't know, bro, my baby mama crazy. Oh, I know. You knew she was, like I said, you knew she was a hoe when you met her. You knew she was crazy when you met her. You knew she was lazy when you met her. But she had a big booty though. So you didn't care. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't care. A woman to sit back and look at, women get crossed up differently. They will see the potential that they think this man has and think that they can help draw it out, and then it ends up not coming. Like my sister, she wasted 10 years of her life waiting on a nigga to get right. I ain't talking about no word neither. 10 years. Well, you can't get no decade back, boy. That's from kindergarten to 5th grade, man. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, I'm dead serious though. But I'm dead serious though. Yeah, I'm talking about you 5 to 10. So I'm just thinking like this here. You know, you start learning coming out the womb, but she raised the whole 10 years though. That's a long time to deal with somebody hoping that they gonna become who you think they can be. See, I say that women do it different. A man don't look at a woman and say, I see potential in her. I'm gonna try to get it out. Shoot, she look good and she could cook, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of dudes think though. It's very few men that will choose a woman based off the merit of her inward parts and her brain. You know what I'm talking about? Because like this here, I'm talking this here, most men, if they like this here, they want a woman who is intelligent, that she got a little street in her. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they would prefer. Like you ain't got to actually have ran the street. You know what I'm talking about? Just be hard though. Have a little head to you. You know what I'm saying? Be 100. Yeah, a little something, you know what I'm saying? At least if I'm getting wrong, you ain't got no problem look me in my face and be like, man, if you don't sit your silly behind the house somewhere, and you'll listen. You know what I'm saying? If she's a soldier and she look, because a real woman that's a soldier, if she turn to you and say, all right now, then you know she's straightening you, that means you doing, like, you need to tighten up. You do, like, because she's usually not going to express it. You know what I'm saying? She do like, this nigga tripping. I ain't going to say nothing this time. He tripping again. But when she sit back and look at, all right now, you like, my bad. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna do it though? But if you're gonna win him, you gotta win him with your behavior. How many of y'all women done seen anybody win a man over talking the word to him? Yeah, all right, sentiments exactly. No one. You know what I'm talking about? But it's a lot of women who sit back if you lick, cause that's especially with black people, they want to see how that's working out for you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm dead serious though. For most black people, you gonna talk about, oh, I'm a Hebrew now. I follow the Bible. Yeah, shoot, look like the same nigga I know since we was 16 to me. You know what I'm talking about? Don't come talking to me about that stuff. You were just smoking a blunt with me yesterday. Talking about you on some Bible. Man, get out my face. You gonna roll up or what? But when they go to seeing that you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that, and over a period of time, because people be watching you whether you know it or not. Especially when you say you follow this, they are watching you. And they're watching to see, is this word taking root? Is it manifesting a change inwardly? Because a lot of people know how to play that game. That's why I told you. Read that 1 Peter chapter 3. Peter finna tell you about it. All that outward adornment. You think that, oh, she righteous, bro. You seen that long skirt and that head wrap she had on? She bobbing for apples every day.
While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with
chaste
fear.
behavior coupled with fear. So when we look at chaste, that means pure. You know what I'm saying? Coupled with that reverence and respect that you have for Allah. See, we finna see that about Esther because Esther is representative of that. Why do you think the king was willing to listen to her? Ah, man, y'all thought I was just talking. Go ahead.
Whose adorning let it not be that of outward adorning, of plaiting of the hair and wearing of apparel.
So that's why you sit back and see that's why you tell the man say don't plait your hair. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm talking about? You do what you want to do. That's it. Watch yourself, little man. You better get it, man. Oh, what I think take your whole head off. Now I've been sitting here telling y'all, right? I ain't got nothing to do with that. He said don't plait your hair. Take that up with Elohim. You know what I'm talking about? I don't got nothing to do with that. You ain't got to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be saved, you better do what that man told you to do. Go ahead.
Dreads or just any type of braid?
Braids. Oh, you can lock your hair up. You can do what you do. Ain't nothing. These men in here know they better not do it though. Walk around here like this here. Ain't got no business doing all of this here. You doing none of that there, boy. Don't cut your hair, man. You ain't no priest. You doing all that there. He told the priest, boy, you better not let your hair grow long. That's Ezekiel 44 and 20. What that is got their hand up in there? What's up, Taylor? He said, I mean, you have like this here, man. I don't know what a braid is. I know I just told these girls back in the day, braid my hair, and that's what it is. I know in another place we're reading, he tell you don't braid your hair and don't plait it. I will leave that up to y'all because I don't know nothing about that. You would have to enlighten me on that.
What kind of dude have braids?
This nigga here with them braids, man. Your wife already told you you can't have no braids. Go ahead, man. I'm talking about some braids. She like this here. She say like because you gonna keep on braiding. You gonna be braiding that wound on your arm. Cause she say she gonna cut you deep too.
Real deep.
Talking about she gonna say you gonna need some triple strand stitches on these here. Come on.
It said, but let it be of the head man of the heart,
We run out of time.
and that which is corruptible, not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet ruach.
So the ornament, the thing that he's looking at is a meek and quiet spirit. That's inwardly. So a woman of Elohim would be a humble woman. She'd be a quiet woman. That means any strong and real woman persuades by action and not words. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Because I got to crank it up a notch.
Which is the sight of Elohim of great price.
That's a great price to him. And what the next thing he say?
For after this manner in the old time, the Kodash women also who trusted in Elohim adorned themselves being in subjection to their own husbands.
Like who?
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
Now, see, I was finna sit back and read Isaiah 51. It say, look unto Abraham from the rock that you were hewn and the hole that you were dig. So you have to look at Sarah, right? Sarah was a humble woman. She was a faithful woman. She reverenced and respected her husband to the point that she called him master. Now, I'm going to sit back and tell you that. I don't mean to be looking at your wife talking about call me master and you don't fit no Abraham qualifications, though. You know what I'm saying? You ain't coming through like Abraham. Don't try that woman like that. Just let her call you by your name like she been doing. You know what I'm talking about? You're trying to call me your master. She looking at you like, shoot, when you become one, I might just do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real, though. If you want somebody to say that you they master or they ruler, you know what I'm talking about? Then conduct yourself like one. You know what I'm talking about? Move like one. Operate like one. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest problems that our men have is that you feel like a woman should submit to you when you're giving her nothing to submit to. If you ain't coming through like no man, why should she respect you like one? You know what I'm talking about? If you coming through like a man, I told you this before, she will have no problem doing it. You won't even have to ask. You know what I'm talking about? She gonna do it off the rip. Real woman gonna see a real man and be like this here. I rocks with that dude. He ain't even got to say nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Going wherever you go. That's why when the people seen the master and we sit back, we his body and they seen him, I rock with that cat. He ain't gonna tell me twice. I'm going where he going. Come over here to the book of Esther though, chapter 2. Pick me up at verse 8 though.
So it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree
Now
was
what
heard.
we're dealing with is here how Esther getting into play is King Xerxes called for his wife, Queen Vashti, and you know what she did? Y'all know what she did?
She lied on him.
No, she ain't lied. She ain't get us thinking behind up and come on.
She ain't listen.
She didn't listen. He said, call for his wife. She said, man, shoot, nigga, I ain't coming over there to talk to this nigga. Nigga better come talk to me later. I ain't doing nothing. A rebellious, wicked woman. And it ended up, that's where the decree came in at where he said that because they told the king, he said, man, you're going to have to give a decree. Because, boy, he said, if all the women in the realm see this right here, all of them going to feel like they can buck their husband. You know what I'm talking about? So he came up with a decree. You got to listen to your husband. Which is already in the law anyway. Genesis 3 and 15 just tell you that all day long. The man shall rule over you. See, I was talking to my homegirl. She told me, you know, I ain't going to never submit to no man. And you going to be single too. You might want to take your profile off them dating sites you got on because you ain't never going to get no man. You know what I'm talking about? Because ain't no man walking and key word is man, is not going to deal with no woman who ain't going to follow him. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, now it's different if he's not giving you nothing to follow. If he's not giving you nothing to submit to, then you would be the fool for following him. You know what I'm talking about? Now you the fool now. Because there's three key components that a man should be able to do for his woman. Y'all know them three components here? And the lead. He should be able to lead her. He should be able to provide for her. And he should be able to protect her. And if you... Oh yeah, all that. You know what I'm talking about? So, if this man is not able to do these three things for you, then he ain't got no business trying to even get married. You know what I'm saying? Then on the same token, which we finna get to that in a minute, because I got something in 1 Timothy chapter 5 for that. If you're not married, then obviously, because we know this here with the Most High, then you in subjection to him. Because you know why? Because he's going to lead you, he's going to provide for you, and he's going to protect you. You know what I'm talking about? That's how that rolls. You know what I'm saying? As a man, if you want to be married, you get yourself prepared to be somebody's husband. If you ain't prepared to be nobody's husband, you don't need to be thinking about marrying nobody. You know what I'm talking about? Especially if you ain't right in your mind to be somebody. And if you ain't right to be nobody's wife, you need to sit down and just wait. Because most people want to get married for two things. Because they want a hunch, or they see other people having children, and they want to have children. So I should go ahead and get married so we can have some babies. That is a dumb reason to get married. You know what I'm saying? Get married because you genuinely, truly love the individual that you want to marry. And when I say love them, I mean everything that's about them. And even the ugly stuff about them, you still won't go nowhere. I ain't talking about deplorable behavior or character flaws that are, I can't overlook that type stuff. I'm talking about they got stuff that you might not like or care for, but I'm not going to depart from you because of that. Because everybody in their mate, your mate going to do something that I do not particularly care for that. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean you hightail it up out of there, because if you did, that means you never loved them. Because this man sat back and said he loved us and we did some horrible things. He did not go anywhere. If you love somebody, you will not go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't actually love people. You have a strong infatuation. Some they have just a strong lust. You know what I'm saying? Then when that lust or infatuation passes by, you realize, I didn't even like this man. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm for real. You go to realize, I didn't even like this person. And it's usually when you say like this person, their character. Not their personality, their character. Because you might have some personality classes. You can get past that. You can sit back and look at their character, who they are intrinsically. Oh, I don't like them. Do you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man.
So it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, that many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan, the palace, to the custody of Haggai. And that Esther was brought also to the king's house to the custody of Haggai, keeper of the women.
So he sat back and said he was brought to the keeper of the women. Now, you know, y'all, most of y'all not familiar with the story. We can't go into it all in depth, but she was set up to lead. Now, y'all know what Esther's name means? Somebody has stumbled. Oh, poor baby. Come on over here to verse 16. Meaning star. When we see star, what do you think about? Son of Elohim. So her name meaning star, or an offspring of Elohim is what we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? Now let's look at Esther 2 and 16.
So Esther was taken to King Ahasuerus unto the house of the royal, into the house royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth.
What y'all think this mean when they say she took Esther into the house of the royal in what month?
The 10th month. Bring him into that tabernacle.
Bringing them into that tabernacle in that royal house. Bring the stars in, because what did the master tell you?
Bring the wheat into the barn.
No, get Matthew 13 and 42. So the number one key thing is, and you know why she was a star? Her name meaning star, because of her faith. So you look at Sarah, she was a faithful woman. That's why I say she had faith like Esther. What we're looking at when we see this here is there is a plot and a plan to kill the whole house of Yasharal. And it was the faith of Esther which got the people delivered. Because Mordecai telling her to do this. If she didn't possess the faith that she had, then she would not be able to. And remember now, faith is strength. Because remember what he tell you in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. My grace is made sufficient for thee. because my strength is made perfect in weakness. Knowing that that's what a virtuous woman is. And the book says that a virtuous woman is the weaker vessel. That's what he told you in 1 Peter chapter 3. She is the weaker. We didn't get to that verse. We got to read it, though. She's the weaker vessel. So the strength is made perfect in weakness. So a man, it's like he say, when a man cleave to his wife and they become one flesh, then that strength is made perfect through the weakness of this woman. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's why he told you to leave your father and your mother's house and cleave to your wife. And you know what would be fun to me when I see dudes ask, who should come first, your mama or your wife? You ought to be slapped for even asking that question. You know what I'm saying? If any man put his mama before his wife, he is not a man.
Mama, I love you.
You know what I'm saying? How could you dare put your mama before your wife? How does that happen? How do you put anyone besides Elohim before your wife? That does not happen. I don't care if it's her mama, my mama. Your people mean absolutely nothing. My people mean absolutely nothing. The law say a man leaves his father and his mother and cleaves to his wife. That's about you and her now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't let it say, man, you don't put nobody before your wife. Nobody. That does not happen. You don't put nobody before your husband. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen. That's retarded. I don't see how people even roll with that. I don't understand how that question is asked. I don't even know how it clicks into your... I remember my little homeboy like, well, my mama come first. My mama was there for me. But you married now, though. So I mean, you're not a man. You're not prepared to be nobody's husband. Because you still cleave to your mama. Get off the breast, boy. Come on. If you're a man, you're going to be off your mama's breast and you're going to be cleaving to your wife. You're going to be like, mama. Mama, talking about, I need help with the rent, baby. Shoot. My wife need help with it, too. I don't know what to tell you. See, if we got something left over, I see what we can do. You know what I'm talking about? We got kids.
Your mama likes some, your like some.
You know what I'm talking about? My wife in the dark, but mama ain't. My wife hungry. Mama fool.
Your mama rotten if she wants you to do that.
Who you telling? And that's when you had to sit back and look at. Don't be sitting around always, don't be letting your people be getting in your marriage and all that stuff, man. That way you're supposed to look them in their face, stay in your place. You know what I'm talking about? Stay in your place. If I didn't solicit your advice, don't offer it. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to hear it. Keep it to yourself. That's how stuff get, that's why a lot of relationships get tore up, because you let people in them. You know what I'm saying? Because once you go to talking bad about your mate, you might forgive them. The people around you not, though. And they'll keep bringing that stuff up. You know what I'm talking about? Now, if the only difference is if niggas see unfavorable behavior. And they letting you know, like, I seen your husband round there to this woman's house at 2:30 in the morning. Now, I don't know what they had going on, but you might want to holler at him about that. You know what I'm saying? I seen your wife riding with another man in your car. You know who that dude was? You might want to holler at her about that. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other things, because y'all know how I feel about this here. Ain't none of y'all men got no business ever lifting not nary finger and putting it on your wife. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no type of man you put your hands on a woman. Period. You ought to be shot, then resurrected from the dead and shot again. You know what I'm talking about? And burned alive.
Because that will happen.
You know, I'm dead serious though. I be like, say, man, I got a sister, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, when I was young, I used to say, I wish a nigga would put their hands on Lil Muffin. That nigga gonna have to see me, because I guarantee you, I ain't got no problem going to the Florida Department of Correction for the rest of my life behind that one. You know what I'm talking about? What? I'm telling you, I done told you this before. Nigga talking about he was gonna do something to my cousin when she stayed in Atlanta. She hit us up talking about that. He said, I'm gonna kill her. I got guns. So me and my homeboy were finna get a rental car with them pistols and ride right up to Atlanta and leave that nigga stank where we found him at. And come right back to Jacksonville. Put your hands on that one. I ain't got no problem killing you. Period. I ain't gonna feel bad about it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm dead. And this nigga putting this on the internet, what he gonna do to my cousin? Okay. Okay. Make sure you do that. Do it while I'm standing there. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all seen that video dude was rapping against Joe Budden. They were having a battle. That nigga stopped and went to going off on Joe Budden. Talking about he put his hands on women. That nigga say, use a nigga. Use a all type of stuff like disrespectful. You know what I'm talking about? Joe Budden looking like this here, laughing, smoking a cigarette. Don't laugh and smoking no cigarette. That man just sized you, boy. But he should have sized you. He should have sized you. You know what I'm saying? You think your Elohim gonna put his hand? This man ain't never put his hand on his wife. You know what I'm talking about? He explained it. He put a belt on him. But then when he put that belt on, it was different though. It was in the framework of a father to a child. When you see him doing that there, he didn't put his wife out. He didn't put his wife out. So you can't live here no more. He ain't put no hands on him. Now he sit back, you look at you, my son. Oh, I'm finna beat this nigga. I'm finna beat him. Come on, man. 2:17. Listen to what he say the king did, because he say a virtuous woman is above ruby. She hard to find. Esther 2:17. I got it. He got it. What I got you hold us up?
Matthew 13.
Oh yeah, 13:41. Go ahead. That's where to start.
Matthew 13:41. The Son of Man shall send forth his Malachim,
And they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do
That's what he
iniquity.
did with Queen Vashti. She offended, she did iniquity, he got her up out of them. Come on.
And shall cast them into a furnace of fire.
Get her out of here.
There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
I bet she will holler.
Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their
And guess
Father.
what, guys? We know a sun is a star. And guess what we're going to see about Esther? She's going to shine forth like a star. See, I'm going to have to come revisit this because it's a lot of women. And I want y'all to be familiar with a lot of these women. Because there's about 25 of them. Yeah, because I ain't going to remember all the names of them women. Huh? Oh, I knew I wasn't. Because some of them are singular. Like they just in the epistle letters. Women that he shouted out. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to deal with what their names meant. And then certain behavior attributes. You know what I'm talking about? But that's a lot of women. Yeah, one of them ladies' name means weasel. Huldah, the prophetess Huldah, her name means weasel. There's another woman named Mountain, means mountain goat. And I got something for the lady whose name means mountain goat.
I'm interested to hear what you got for that weasel.
I ain't got nothing for that weasel at the moment.
That is going in the
Yeah, Huldah, the prophetess Huldah, her name means weasel. But Jael, the woman who put the stake in the dude's head, her name means mountain goat.
She was riding, boy.
And I have something for the lady who named it. I might be dealing with the women theme all week. I'll give y'all the conference call number for that. Because you know what I'm saying? Because I want y'all to sit back and hear that. I want you women to be able to understand you need to model yourself after these here. And you and if he's a righteous man, he gonna spot you and come holler at you. You know what I'm talking about? And if you already married, it's to get yourself into that aspect. Because a woman's supposed to be a compliment to a man. That's what a helpmeet is. She should enhance him. If a woman's not making you better, she might not be the woman for you. You know what I'm saying? Because she's supposed to make you better. If she don't make you better, she's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Esther 2:17.
And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set a royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Now, we don't use the word queen. We use the word malcock. I don't know if y'all know what the word queen means, but it means a banshee and a whore. You know what I'm saying?
It said especially plump, you know.
A fat whore. And not any of you women in here are whores, so therefore don't let anyone call you a whore. I wouldn't care what word they were using. Oh, you're a queen. No, sir. I'm not a queen. You can call me a malcock, but don't call me no queen. Because I'm not a whore, I'm not a banshee, and I'm not fat. You know what I'm saying? Just say it, because there's power in words now. Because the names and titles that you allow people to call you can frame your thought process. You know what I'm saying? If you tell a child they're bad, they will believe that they are bad. You know what I'm saying? And then they will manifest that behavior. You know what I'm saying? The proper thing to tell them is you misbehaving. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you how to correct your misbehavior. You know what I'm saying? And you can, and as strange as it sounds, the difference of using one word over another can frame this child's personality and their behavior. Because as a man thinketh, so he is. So if someone tells you that you're a whore, you will believe that you're a whore. If a man tells you you'll never be nothing, then you will believe that. If somebody tells you you're nothing but a no good nigga, and that's all you're going to be, then that's what you're going to believe. If somebody tells you that you can achieve this, and you can be this, and you can believe, and you can be that, you will believe it, and you will go after that. Because that was instilled into your mind frame. That's why I say I'll never tell you what you can't do. Because if I tell you can't do something, you might eventually believe that. Unless you're one of them people that say, I'm going to show you what I can't do. And everybody doesn't take that negative stuff and use that as fuel to prove somebody wrong. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be choice, especially with children. You have to be choice with the words that you use when you talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know you be, oh, they being bad. You just saying they in here running around acting crazy. They going to find out what bad is. Well, my mama keep telling me I'm bad, so I guess I am, so I might as well act like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you hear some women say, you ain't nothing like your daddy. Then they believe that. And then they'll be behaving like that. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'll be like this my whole life, 'cause my mama never did it. You know what I'm saying? Well, you don't never talk bad about the other parent in the presence of that child. If you do that, you are rotten, no good, slimy individual who ought to be drug out in the middle of the street and shot. You know what I'm saying? My mama ain't never say nothing negative about my daddy. My daddy wasn't there. Not one word. You know what I'm saying? But you don't do that. You let them find that out on their own. You know what I'm saying? I had somebody tell me, I wish my mama would have told me my daddy ain't do this here. It wasn't her place to tell you that he didn't do this here. You found out, now you know. You know what I'm saying? That go both ways. Don't be around there talking bad about your mama ain't nothing but a low down. Like, you's a nasty type of nigga you is. You know what I'm saying? You know something got to be wrong with you. You down talk a woman.
Yeah.
Grown man down talk a woman. Man, you's up. Man, I'm going to keep on going. Keep reading, sir. I'm telling you, man, ain't no grown man got no business down talking to a woman. You know what I'm talking about? If she's a whore, then just, hey, she's a whore, keep it moving. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, don't down talk no woman, man. You ain't got no business down talking no man, much less no woman. The book say don't let no evil speaker, don't speak evil one of another. So the difference is speaking evil mean it ain't true. You talking bad on somebody. Now if a nigga did something evil and you speak, if you did it, you did it now. I ain't speaking of you, those are facts. You know what I'm saying? If you went and did that, I ain't speaking evil on you, shoot, you did it. What you want me to do about it? You ain't have to tell nobody, you ain't have to do it. Straight up and down. You ain't have to tell nobody I did that shit. You didn't have to do it. I didn't make you go do that. That's what people probably, man, I tell you this here, right? People like for somebody to throw a pity party for them when they in the wrong. Ain't nobody throwing no pity party for you when you wrong. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, suck it up and tighten up. That man say, if you do wrong and you say he sat back and, matter of fact, give me that 1 Peter chapter 2, man, verse 12. He said, if you ain't did nothing wrong and you get buffeted for your faults and you take it patiently, he said that's acceptable with Elohim. And see, when we gonna see that again, because it's time back to Esther, because Esther ain't did nothing wrong. Mordecai ain't did nothing wrong. Haman want to kill him though. Hey.
2 and what?
2 and 11. Tell me what that says.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts.
Abstain from fleshly lust. That's what makes
which
it
war against the soul.
War against the soul.
Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles.
Make sure you have your behavior honest around these wicked people. Why so?
That whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify Elohim.
That's what y'all need to sit back and look at. If people speaking against you evilly, don't be worrying about what they doing. Keep your behavior honest. Therefore, you will be esteeming Elohim on your behalf, and they will be condemning themselves. That goes back to your father Jacob. He said, I'm going to let my righteousness speak for me. You don't have to always defend yourself against the attacks. Let them keep doing what they do. You just keep doing what you do. Go ahead.
Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for Yahuwah's sake, where to be the king as supreme, or unto governors as unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well.
You ain't that cute.
But so is the will of Elohim, that with well-doing ye may put to silence.
With well-doing, you can put to silence the what?
The ignorance of foolish men.
We're going to see that about Haman, that by well-doing Esther, because that was faith. Her trust in Elohim has caused her to be able to do this. Go ahead.
As free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness.
Don't use your freedom in the word to be an old spiteful, malicious individual. That don't give you room to do that. You know what sometimes people think being malicious and spiteful is? When you tell the truth. How am I being spiteful and malicious? I just told you, nigga, you did it. You know what I'm saying? You know what being malicious and spiteful is? You do and say things with the intent to injure. You know what I'm saying? And every last one of you, especially those of y'all that are married, no matter how mad you get, you still love this person. You know what I'm talking about? So be careful what you say out your mouth. Because people don't forget what you say out your mouth. You can say, I'm sorry, but they're not going to forget that. Because of the abundance out of the heart, the mouth speaks. So they're going to look at, that's how you really feel about me? You know what I'm saying? That's how you really feel about me? Like, dang, how long you felt like that? I'm for real, though. Because I hadn't even thought I had a problem with it. I ain't never say nothing there. I just told the truth. I ain't just say nothing out my mouth and be like, you this, that, there, and the third, because I love that person. You know what I'm saying? At the same token, I don't love what you're doing, though. Go ahead.
For so is the will of Elohim, that with well-doing you may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. As free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of Elohim.
Yeah.
Honor all men. Love thy brother. Love the brotherhood. Fear Elohim, honor the king. Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. For this is the thankworthy if a man for
This is thankworthy.
if a man for conscience
Say,
toward Elohim endure grief, suffering wrongfully.
if you can't, he say this is thankworthy if you suffer grief wrongfully towards Elohim. I mean, you ain't did nothing wrong. The master didn't do nothing wrong. We already talked about that with him being hurt. He didn't do nothing wrong. He endured it though. Go ahead.
For what is esteem is it? For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when you do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently. That is acceptable with Elohim.
Says what? If you get slapped across your head because you doing wrong, ain't no glory in that. Ain't no glory in that. That's what he said back. If you don't get no pity party, ain't no glory in that. But he said, but if you get slapped upside your head and you ain't did nothing wrong, say the Most High will accept that. So let's go back to the book of Esther. Now you'll sit back and look at something because Esther ends up getting put in a position. We'll look at the 3rd chapter of Esther. Now, of course, now Esther is being made, matter of fact, what we look at is that she was made Malchi instead of Vashti. So this is what it's showing you. What you won't do, y'all will get you out the way and put somebody there who will. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of people crumple under the pressure of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And they'll find excuses to come up under that responsibility and find somebody who will not challenge them to actually arise to the occasion. See, things that are hard and difficult are more than likely the things that you would want to strive to because they will pull the greatness up out of you that you may have not even known existed. You know what I'm saying? But when you slide to things that are comfortable, then you're going to remain in the state that you're always in. That's why I like to say it right, because it's a wrong connotation when we say independent woman, how they use it, because it's a different mind state how they use it. Because the book said virtuous woman is strong. You know what I'm saying? A strong woman will make a great man become greater. You know what I'm talking about? Because she will push him to reach his full capacity. You know what I'm talking about? Most men, I should say not men, I should say most males or little boys will run from that. Because I don't want to be a man. I don't want a woman to challenge me to be greater. I would rather deal with a woman who will keep me right here where I'm at. Because that's where I want to be at. At the same token, a grown little girl will not want to deal with a man that will push her to become greater and to become a woman. She will 9 times out of 10 let me revert back to dealing with someone who's not going to make me do that. You know what I'm saying? This is why our communities are in complete disarray, because we like things that are easy. But anything that is easy is not worth having, because there's not going to be any endurance to it. Eventually it will crumble. It might take a year. It could take 5. But eventually it will fall apart. You know what I'm saying? Things that are hard to obtain, you know what the reason being? You appreciate it more. If you can get it easily, you don't appreciate that. Any of y'all who ever made some money real fast, you spun it real fast, you ain't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? If you had to put in some muscle to get that cash, you sit back and look at that. Boy, I ain't finna spend that like that money. I work too hard for that. Especially some of y'all that got children when they go to ask them for stuff and begging all the time. Mama, I want this, I want that. And the rent man want his money. And the mortgage company want they know. So you have to sit down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us feel like that when you were younger. When your people gave you money, you didn't put no value on that money. You spun it real fast till you started working for it. At least I would hope you didn't spend your money real fast after you started working for it. You began to appreciate it more. Read me verse 1 more.
After these things, then King Azarias promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
Now drop down to verse 7. This is the man who wanted to kill the people.
In the first month, that is the month of Nisan.
Now I'm gonna tell you the reason why he wanted to kill these people, because when he would sit back and see Mordecai wouldn't listen to him nor holler at him. Matter of fact, Mordecai told him, I'm a Yahudim. I don't mess with you, cuz. I'm saying y'all can go back and read that on your own time, because we running out of time. Go ahead.
In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Azarias, they put that is the lot, before Haman from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month of Adar. And Haman sent to King Azarias, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed amongst the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws, therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
So this man is upset because of how we live, so he wanted to kill us. Now sit back and drop down about verse 13. We dealing with Esther a little early because, you know, a lot of times we don't really look at that till Purim come around. But Esther is one of the strongest examples of faith in this book, as far as women are concerned. Go ahead. Verse 13, the third chapter.
And the letters were sent by the post unto all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all the Yahudim, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Dar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
Go ahead.
The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day.
They sat back and put this all out there that they should exterminate all of us. Now let's drop down to the first one of the fourth chapter. Go ahead.
What verse?
The first verse of the fourth chapter.
When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes, and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry, and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was a great mourning amongst the Yahudim, and fasting and weeping and wailing, and many lay sackcloth and ashes.
Go ahead.
So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it to her. Then the queen was exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai and to take away his sackcloth from him, but he received it not.
First thing she sat back when she heard that her and her uncle was in the streets doing all this here, she wanted to try to comfort him. Now this is sitting back showing you, even though this is her uncle, this is an attribute of what a virtuous woman would do. See, it tells you that in Proverbs 31 that the law of kindness is in her mouth. You know what I'm saying? So if you would sit back and say that you are a virtuous woman, then you should be a kind woman. And when you see somebody in sorrow, that you should be able to comfort them. You know what I'm saying? The first thing a woman should be able to do with her husband is know how to comfort him. You would have to know how he thinks, and you would also have to have, see, you have a lot of women, they don't really know how to comfort a man. So they'll sit back and look at, I told you some encouraging words, they think they didn't actually did something. You know what a lot of them feel? Am I lying though? And it'd be cliches too. You can do it, baby. Oh yeah, that really helped. That'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes to comfort somebody, you ain't got to say a word. All you got to do is just be there. Sometimes some people realize they think that they got to say something. You don't always have to say something. That person just has to know that you're there. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times if you just saying something, you really ain't got nothing to say, and you're really just making it worse by saying this nonsense that you're saying to me. You know what I'm saying? See, I come from a family, we didn't say a lot, but the comfort was in that knowing you was there. Because you know, there's a lot of people that walk this planet that feel like that no one loves them. And the reason being is because when things get real, they look around, people who say they love them bail. I experienced this recently. I wouldn't care what was going on. If somebody loved you and you really dealing with something real, they would never leave your side. Regardless of whatever y'all situation might be, they're not going nowhere. If they really love you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a lot of people on this planet really know what it means to love somebody. That's why a lot of black people are depressed and angry and do the stuff that they be doing. That's why a lot of women are promiscuous. That's why a lot of men are promiscuous, because they feel that no one loves them. You know what I'm talking about? And we just think, I told him, that doesn't mean you love this person. Most people love what you can do for. Most men only tell a woman that he loves her to get inside of her body. You really don't love this woman. You love the pleasures of her flesh. Most women only tell a man they love him because what they think they can get from him. You know what I'm talking about? But you don't actually love this person. Because if a woman love a man, she going to be with him if he got nothing. You know what I'm saying? And the same token, that man love that woman and he knows she was there when he ain't had nothing. He'll give her whatever she wants times 10. She won't even have to ask. You know what I'm talking about? She might walk in the house and be like, yeah. You say you wanted what kind of car? Go around the bike. Do you know what I'm talking about? Why you bought me this here? Why not? Shoot, we got it. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? You might come home and be like this here. Yeah, there's an outfit on the bed. We finna dip about 30 minutes. Man, he might call you like this and check this out, right? Just meet me to the airport. What you mean? You finna dip. Dip well. You'll find out when we get there. You ain't got to bring no clothes with you. You caught some clothes when we land. You know what I'm saying? Cause you was there when I ain't had nothing. When I split that thing up with that dude, Conor McGregor, what he say his wife did for him? Nigga, you been this man for 8 years, living in a flat with nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Encouraging this man, you're going to be a champion because she believed in him. So if she believed in that because she really loved him and she knew that he was capable of attaining this level of success. You know what I'm talking about? So she rode with him. If a woman don't believe you can attain the level of success, oh, she gonna dip. Oh, he taking too long. And he like to say, I'm glad you left too long. Because as soon as I would have hit it big, all you would want to do was ball. You ain't really believe in me. You wasn't really riding with me because you left. You know how much that is to stay with somebody for 8 years being poor? 9 times out of 10, it's 1,000 dudes offering their penis to her every day. And she say, no, I'm going to stay with him. And she was like, why he with this broke man? Because I know he ain't going to be broke forever because I love him. You know what I'm saying? Most women, they don't love that dude. They love like this here. As soon as they got an opportunity, they think it's another nigga going to do something for them, they going to go over there with him. And then you know what ends up happening? He wasn't what you thought he was. You got fooled. You know what I'm saying? Now you might have his baby. Now you might have AIDS. You ain't no telling. And they get got like that there all the time. Or now your heart broke because he done slid and found somebody else that he found more appealing. When you love somebody, you ain't leaving. You know what I'm talking about? That if you see like the difference now, let me clarify this here for the women now. The difference is now, she seen this man going to the gym putting in work every day. You know what I'm talking about? She seen him putting the work in every day. I see him grinding. I see him at it. He ain't just talking. I'm going to ride with him. I ain't talking about it. Maybe we going to make it. What you did all day? Watch for it. You did what? You ain't trying to make that happen? Shoot. I was tired. You going to give me some gas money? What? I ain't telling you to ride with that now. I'm talking about you see he working now. You see he putting forth the effort and he getting it in. You ride with that. You don't ride with a nigga just like this here. I don't care if he's failing and all. If he did one thing and it didn't work out, but okay, he's like this here. Well, I'm gonna do this here right there. I ain't talking about a nigga just like this here. Baby, you know, I can get $10, man. God got some gas around the corner. I'm trying to get high. I smoke with you. She's like, smoke with me. You know what I'm talking about? She sitting there thinking, how does my vagina even get right for this man? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, for real. How am I aroused by this man? How does this man arouse me? You know what I'm saying? I'm for real though. Because there's a lot of women get physically aroused by niggas like, how is that possible? You know what I'm talking about? This man ain't doing nothing. I'm talking about, come on, man. See, sometimes some women don't want to stick it out with you. Because they don't love you. A woman who love you, she gonna stick it out with you. She gonna stick it out with you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna stick it out. And if a man love a woman, he gonna make her better. Whatever he on, he gonna put her on. You know what I'm talking about? That's what he gonna do. If I'm on this and I'm on that, then of course you gonna sit down with your old lady, you gonna put her on that. You ain't gonna keep it all to yourself. Be like, shit, check this out, man. We're gonna bam, bam, bam. And guess what? It got a formidable team. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done seen, for lack of better terms, celebrities. Y'all done seen some of them with business-wise. Him and they wife, it wasn't no joke. Right? A lot of people like to look at, you know, that stinking whore Beyonce and her husband. But you know what I'm talking about? But Kimora Lee Simmons was getting money for real. You know what I'm talking about? Her and her husband were getting money. They were hustlers for real. They wasn't just no, oh, he getting money. Shoot, we getting money together. They might have been had competition. I bet I make $3 million this quarter. Bet I make more than you. See, I like that type of stuff. That's what you want right there. If you a hustler, that's what you're going to want. If you a hustler, you're not going to marry a woman who ain't no hustler. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all ain't going to be compatible. Your lifestyles ain't the same. Go ahead, man. I got 18 minutes.
So Esther's maid and her chambers came and told her to her, and she was exceedingly grieved.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, then was she exceedingly, I read that. We have verse 5, sorry.
You could drop it 8, though.
7. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay the king's treasuries for the Yahudim to destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he gave a copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show unto Esther, to declare unto her, to charge her that she should go in unto the king, to make supplications unto him, and to make a request before him for her people.
Go ahead.
And Hathach came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again, Esther spoke unto Hathach and gave him the commandment unto Mordecai. Mm-hmm. And all the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether a man or woman, shall come into the king's into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of him to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall
Esther
hold out.
So Esther can't even go make no supplication to the king. And this is Yahuwah's doing. Because you ain't got no curse be the man that trusteth a man. You ain't got no business hollering at no man. But let's look and see what Esther do. Keep on going when she hear this, when this is told unto her. Let's see what she do.
And they told the Mordecai Esther's words, and Esther commanded to answer, and Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not that with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Yahudim.
Taylor told her, you think you gonna escape? But let's see what Esther did when she heard that. See, this is the difference between faith, like I was telling you about, if somebody trying to kill you for the word, and what you going to do. Let's see what Esther do.
For if altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise unto the Yahudim from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time
They
as
say,
this?
who knows if Esther was set up in this spot for the specific purpose to deliver the people? Come on.
Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer.
Look what she said she told me. Let's see what Esther told Mordecai to do. Because remember, say, the law of wisdom is in the virtuous woman's mouth as well, right? Let me pull that down to make sure that's what it said. I don't want to quote him. Just hold this here before you read that. I can't remember what verse it is. Where we at? I'm thinking about something else. I keep reading. I was thinking about something totally different. Go ahead, Will.
Go and gather together all the Yahudim that are present in Susan, and fast ye for me, and
do
neither
what?
eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
Who she put her trust in?
Alayhim.
She sat back and said, this is what y'all do. Everybody fast, because we know what fasting is. We know if you fast, because remember that what fasting was given was in the time of Isaiah before they went into captivity to Babylon. So she would have already known the word to know that fasting is for your voice to be heard on high. So she sat back and considered her trust was in, and then she said, I'm going to still go in there regardless of what that commandment say, and if I die, I die. This is the love, number one, she had for her people. This is the faith and trust that she had in her power. And that's what type of women y'all ought to be. If you're a virtuous woman, see, that's strength right there, and that's a quiet strength too. Because remember what the book say, where the king's word is, there's power. So where the king's word is, there's strength. So that means the word of Elohim was in her, now wouldn't it? That gave her the strength to be able to say, check this out. He said he gonna do what? But this is what y'all do. Y'all fast for 3 days. I'm gonna go holler at this nigga. And if I die, I die. But hopefully, Yahuwah will hear you and deliver y'all. You know what I'm talking about? This is the type of thing we have to look at. Come over here to Acts 19. Y'all willing, we gonna hit this in another total. Because I got a lot. But the faith aspect is the first number one key thing that y'all should sit back and understand. And that's the same thing you see with Sarah. Even though Sarah laughed, right? When she heard that she was going to have a baby, when we started off that thing about the adornment or that quiet and meek spirit, that's the spirit that Esther had on her. And that's of great price. Acts 16, I want to say. I said 19 on my part. We're going to look at Lydia, right? Then I'll read y'all Proverbs 31 because I got my book open to it already.
Acts 16 starting at the top.
No. 16 and 13. We don't want to start that now. Acts 16 and 13. Let's say, they also said she a hustler like Lydia. Let's see what Lydia was doing. And let's see if we can go see this with Proverbs 31. Sold that perp. She was out there on the block. A whole thing.
And on the Shabbat, we went out of the city by a riverside, where prayer was wont to be made. And we sat down and spake unto the woman which restored thither. And a certain woman named Lydia, seller of purple.
She was a seller of purple.
Of the city of Thyatira.
Now don't think she was selling no haze now. Selling no haze now. Don't think she was selling no haze now. Go ahead.
Which worshipped Elohim heard us, whose heart Yahuwah opened, that she attended unto the things which were spoken of Paul.
Now, it say that she was a seller. Go to Acts chapter 9 about verse 33. We'll look at Tabitha, or whom some call Dorcas. I know I mentioned something about Phoebe. We'll deal with Phoebe another thing.
Acts 9 verse 33. It saying there he found a certain man named Aeneas, which had kept his bed 8 years, and was sick of the palsy. And Peter said unto him, Aeneas, Yahushua HaMashiach maketh thee whole. Arise and make thy bed. And he rose immediately.
Go ahead.
And all that dwelt at Lydia and Saron saw him, and turned unto Yahuwah. Now there was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation was called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works.
She was full of what?
Good works. And alms deeds she did.
Go ahead. So another thing when we look at a virtuous woman, she was full of good works and she gave to the poor of those that lack. Again, showing you how the law of kindness is in her mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because a virtuous woman to see those that lack and do for them. You know what I'm saying? See, you have to know the difference between a selfish woman and a compassionate woman. Because a lot of women only think about themselves. And you could be able to tell a selfish woman because every situation and circumstance is always going to be about her. You know what I'm saying? If there's a dispute between the both of y'all, you always the problem, and she never sits back and states what she might contribute to the problem. You're dealing with a selfish woman. You know what I'm saying? If everything is from her, but you don't want nothing to do with no selfish woman, because selfish woman gonna sink your whole ship. You know what I'm talking about? She gonna sink the whole ship. You already know a selfish man, because selfish man ain't gonna do nothing for you. You know what I'm talking about? All he gonna want to do is climb on top of you. That's all he gonna want to do. Come on, Proverbs 31. I got it. Verse 10. You got to be able to know the difference. And see, be able to know the difference. This is the thing with wisdom. Wisdom be able to allow you to discern people's behavior, to know what type of spirit that you're working with and what type of person that you're working with. You know what I'm saying? I know my homegirl always tell me, she say, you're intimidating. She said, that's why nobody don't try to talk to you. I ain't that intimidating. I might be, but I ain't that bad. Once you know me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might see me like, that guy's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He might be kind of mean. I ain't mean in real life, though. I just ain't with that rally stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I just ain't with the rally stuff. Oh, you quoting the song with me? No. Oh, I was going to say. I just thought you from Atlanta, so I thought he might slide it.
I don't know about that rally.
All I heard, I know about that.
Oh, he know about that rally. He know about
All
that.
I know is I'm smelling something.
Somebody poop?
Strong.
They poop? Hey, babies in them. 31-10, right? So, who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth softly trust in her, that he shall have no need of spoil. And see, and you sit back and look at it, right? And we didn't get into it in depth. Y'all willing? Xerxes trusted in Esther. He knew Esther wouldn't do him no wrong. Abraham trusted in Sarah. He knew she wasn't going to do him no wrong. You know what I'm talking about? If you with a woman, you should be able to trust that she won't do you no wrong. See, a lot of times the men are hold back because they got to make sure that this woman actually loves them. Because some women will play the role all the way out like they really love you. Because see, for a man to actually give his heart to a woman, that means he's going to expose himself that you can hurt me, but I know you're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women are like, why you don't open up to me? Probably don't trust you yet. And that's only because most men done seen a lot of women do a lot of dudes dirty. And they be like, boy, I refuse to go out like that devil. You know what I'm saying? I refuse to go out like that devil. But if he's willing to say, one, you know it's a head thing for a man telling you trust you. And then if he go to showing you that he trusts you, then he's saying, I'm going to be willing that you could be able to stab me in my heart and I ain't going to let you, but I know you're not going to do it. You can hold the knife and look at me in the face and you're not going to judge it. See, some women look at that instance once they feel like they got a man heart. Bop, 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 bop. You know what I'm saying? I got it now. Selfish nigga. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm gonna tell you, a real woman don't want no weak man and a real man don't want no weak woman. But it seems like there's plenty of people on the earth that go against those theories. You know what I'm saying? Verse 12 says she would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Says she seek wool and flax and work willingly with her hand. If Lydia's selling purple, guess what you think she doing?
Hustling.
She hustling. Say work willingly with her hand. If she's seeking wool and flax, she just ain't seeking wool and flax to make stuff for the people in the house. Let's see why. She's like the merchant ship. She bring food for a week. I remember this young lady we told that about, and this nigga was literally getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, cooking breakfast for the kids and put it in the microwave, and then go back and get in the bed. I said, that didn't serve to no purpose. The kids ain't want no microwave pancakes. It's true, though.
You ain't break it down right, though.
No, I mean, no. She heard what she wanted. She understood. Ain't nowhere in the world you sit back and say, I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, cook breakfast, and go get back in the bed.
It say she rise early.
It says she rise early while it's yet night and give meat to her household.
See?
But guess what though? But if the house ain't up,
so she wake up early to cook and then put it in the microwave and get back in the bed.
and get back in the bed. They don't get up till 8 o'clock.
She virtuous because she got up early and cooked.
No, I mean, we messed with her about it at the time. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, oh, you this, that, there, the third. Like, yeah, obviously we didn't make that clear for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'd have been hot. I'd have got up and talking about, your breakfast in the microwave. Nigga, this cold. I want this. You know what I'm talking about? Like my pancakes warm. You gotta do it like the kids do. I don't want this. Say, I don't want this. This ain't good, mom. It's cold. But look at verse 16 though. See, if you got a virtuous woman and she was to make a move, 9 times out of 10, a real woman gonna consult you about that. Unless it's a deal so strong that she got to move on. Because if you with a woman, then you would already trust her judgment. You would trust her intelligence. You know what I'm saying? If you with a woman and you don't trust her judgment and intelligence, you got the wrong woman. You know what I'm saying? Look what it says she do. She consider a field, buy it, and with the fruit of her hand, she plant a vineyard. Now, what you do with a vineyard in our days of time? What we did with a vineyard? You made them great for one or two things: for your house and the hustling. You know what I'm talking about? So she said she seen a field. She said, you know what? I think that one there produce something. I'm gonna cop that. Then she went. She didn't say, baby, you need to come work it with me. She copped it and she went and worked it. You know what I'm talking about? Hustler like Lydia. That's how you sit back and look at it. And the reason why I'm telling this here, because I'm going to tell you something. Before segregation, most of our women thought like that, even though they stayed in the house. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted like this is just some new thing. Our women were like that before segregation. If he was out there working, she was coming up with a way to hustle to make some money outside of what he was doing. Number one, to make sure to bring something to the house. Number two, y'all forbid something happen to him, I can still be able to do something. Because the worst thing you want to have is a woman who can't do nothing and you die and then she's stuck like, what am I going to do? And that will be coming into, if you're a man and you're going to lead her, you're going to teach her how to do certain things so she don't end up like that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to put her on, say, baby, this is what you do. This is what you do. And whether it's sending, I'm talking about sending her to get a trade, a skill, a class, whatever, that's what you're going to do. Ain't no man going to be cool with his old lady having no skill but how to cook and clean a house. You cool with that? Shoot, she cook a mean breakfast, lunch, and dinner, boy, and she get real freaky. But when you die, what that's going to do for her, though? I mean, you don't really care about her. You know what I'm saying? Verse 18, look what she say, though. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle go not out by night. She lay her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. He's like, she out here hustling all night. She trying to get it. She trying to get it. You know what I'm talking about? And if she trying to get it, why is she trying to get it? And I was going to lead up to this here with Deborah and all this here about when you got a virtuous woman, all the men in the gate praise you. They say, boy, you got you one, boy. You got your soldier, boy. Any real man, they always letting you know that, boy, well, your wife a soldier. You know what I'm talking about? Men take pride when somebody look at them in the face and tell them, yeah, boy, your wife a soldier, boy. You got you one. You know what I'm saying? You might go to feeling bad somebody if the people that's around you on a regular basis don't sit back and tell you, boy, you know your wife all right, man. They don't tell you like this, you might go to think about something. Why you looking crazy for? Ain't nobody told you was all right. I would have told you was all right either. So it wouldn't. I'm waiting two more months. 2 more months. It's going to be me and you. Me and you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to punch you right in your shins. In the shins, too. Just right there. Try to hit the bone. So you walk like with a limp for the rest of your life. Baby gonna be like, Mama, why you walk like that? Don't talk to me about it. Don't talk to me about it. I won't talk about it. Listen to the next thing though, right? She stretch out her hand to the poor. She reach out her hands to the needy. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is dealing with what a virtuous woman to do. She'll look to those that's without and provide for them. But let me hit this Luke 10 and 40. Hit Luke 10 and 40. So when we look at it, right, we'll deal with the dope mission later. Because there was other women like Deborah. She had a dope mission. Just like Miriam, Mary had a dope mission. But the thing we're looking at is when you look at this virtuous woman, you look at Esther, you seen her, and we didn't go into great detail, most I will, and we'll continue on with it. The faith that she had in Elohim delivered her people from sure death. She trusted in her Elohim the whole time. That's why he even set her in this position, because he already knew the heart of faith that she possessed. And then when you look at Lydia, we're just looking at a non-lazy woman. God, I've met too many women that tell me, I don't want to do nothing, just lazy. See, just because you get up and go to work don't mean that you're not lazy. Because 9 times out of 10, you're looking for a man that's going to come up so you ain't got to work. So you can just stay at home, throw your legs up. I'm going to just take care of his kids. And that's a job in itself. Please believe it. You know what I'm talking about? Staying to the house, taking care of kids in the household is a full-time job. Please believe. That's the definition of multitasking. You know what I'm talking about? But then at the same token, if she any type of soldier, she going to be thinking on ways that add financial value to this home. You know what I'm talking about? If there's a business that her husband running, she going to find a way to be able to enhance that business that he's running. She going to be able to do something to increase that household outside of the standard things that's supposed to be done in that house. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it takes a woman time to find herself to be able to do it. But if you see that her mind is in that direction, then you as a man got to find a way to cultivate what it is that she's thinking upon doing. The problem come in is if she's not thinking upon doing those type of things. Then you might sit back and like, you might have married the wrong woman. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you desire. Now, if you don't desire your wife to do any of those things, that ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? I know I want mine to be able to make some money. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got to work or do nothing like that there. You know, you can stay to the house and do this here, but you got to have some manner of hustle in you. You got to be able to have some manner to be able to say, you know what? I can create this here, or at least if you could be able to put your hand to help me do what I'm doing. But Luke 10 and 40 though.
Luke chapter 10, verse 40. But Martha was cumbered about much serving.
See, Martha, and the reason why I'm reading this here, right? Because you'll have some women, right, that the word is the most desirous thing to them, and they'll seek to be around the individual that has it. Go ahead. See, Martha was cumbered about with what?
Much serving, and came to him and said, Master, does that not care that my sister have left me to serve alone?
Martha like this here, right? You don't care that you don't let my sister done left me to do all the work by myself. And look what the master told her.
Bid her therefore that she help me.
Tell her come over here and help me.
And Yahushua answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things.
He said you troubled about a lot of things, but what he said about Mary?
But one thing is needful.
What's needful?
And Mary have chosen that good part.
She done chosen that good part.
Which shall not be taken away.
He said because she had sat back and she chose that she would serve this word and she would focus on this word, that won't be taken from her. But hallelujah for Yahushua the word.
Praise the Lamb.
You can start right now. Who is that talking?
Praise.
Oh,
They said they go home.
They were whispering, didn't they?
All right, shalom, shalom.
ET phone home.
ET phone home. You ain't got it right.